Hello, everyone. I am missing you all lots and lots. I hope you're doing well where you are, and I hope you're enjoying school and its new format. I would like to take a minute to read a story to you. I know it's not traditional music class, but not a lot about what we're doing these days is our traditional format. So I'm going to choose to read this book called The Philharmonic Gets Dressed. I love this little thing on the cover. If you could come here and put your finger on it and feel it, you'd see that it's all bumpy because it's actually etched into the hardcover, which I always thought was so cool. And it is super old because it was mine when I was a little girl. And my mommy used to read this book to me, and it is called The Philharmonic Gets Dressed. I try to make it so you can see the pictures while I go. Let's see how this works. It is almost Friday night. Outside, the dark is getting darker and the cold is getting colder. Inside, lights are coming on in houses and apartment buildings. And here and there, in uptown and downtown, and across the bridges of the city, 105 people are getting dressed to go to work. First, they get washed. There are 92 men and 13 women. Many take showers. A few take baths. 2 men and 3 women run bubble baths. And 1 man reads in the tub while the cat watches. 1 woman sits in the bubbles and sings. When they have finished washing, then they dry. They use big towels and little towels and a lot of dusting powder. All of the men shave except for 3 who have beards, 2 trim. Then, when the 105 people are showered and bathed, shaved and toweled, dusted and dried, they put on their underwear. This book is, again, a little old-fashioned, and they do some things in this book that we don't do very often anymore, if at all. I love this woman's old hair dryer and the dusting powder. The men wear undershorts or briefs. Some of the men wear undershirts with sleeves. Some wear undershirts without sleeves. And a few of the 92 do not wear undershirts at all. But night and the temperature are falling, and 1 thin man buttons up a suit of long-sleeved, long-legged underwear. Here's the man in the underwear over here. The long underwear that keeps you so cozy. I wonder if this book is written in the wintertime. What do you think? All the men put on black socks. There are short socks and long socks and fancy silk socks that have decorations called clocks. Some of the men wear leg garters to keep the long socks from falling down around their ankles. This gentleman has leg garters on that snap his socks up. Oh dear. I think this gentleman has a little problem. The 13 women put on different kinds of complicated underwear, underpants, pantyhose or stockings, petticoats or slips, and brasiers. 1 woman whose feet always freeze pulls on wool socks over her stockings. That would be me, friends. That would be me. My feet are always cold. When all the men have their underwear on, they get into long-sleeve white shirts and button them up. Then they put on black trousers, which, as we know from Diddle Diddle Dumpling, trousers are just another word for pants. 45 men stand up to get into their pants. 47 sit down. Each pair of pants has a shiny black stripe down the outside of each leg. The men zip zippers and button a button or two. Oh, I'm sorry. One man has wavy black hair streaked with white like lightning. He puts on a very soft white shirt with ruffles down the front. It has special cuffs that fasten with cuff links. This man hooks a wide black cloth belt around his waist. This belt is called a cummerbund. None of the other men wear belts with their pants. They button suspenders onto the waistlines of their pants and snap the suspenders over their shoulders. Here's the man with the wavy black hair. Here's the men snapping their suspenders over their shoulders. Eight women dress in long black skirts. They wear black tops, sweaters, or blouses. 4 women put on long black dresses, and 1 wears a black jumper over a black shirt. A few of the women put jewelry on, a necklace, earrings, but no bracelets. Bracelets would get in the way when they're working. All the men put on black bow ties. Some tie them in front of mirrors. Some stare into space and tie them. The thin man whistles a tune as he ties his tie on. 27 men clip on ties that are already made into bows. The man with the wavy black and white hair and the ruffly shirt and the cummerbund ties on a very big white bow tie. It looks like a white bat. No one else has a tie like this. He slips on a white vest and then a black jacket that is short in the front and long in the back, where it divides in two like a black beetle wings. The jacket and pants are called tails. Tonight, all the other 91 men put on tuxedo jackets. These are black too, with shiny satin lapels, but they do not have that beetle wing back. Can you see the man with the lightning bolt in his hair and the beetle wing back right up here? When all the men and women are completely dressed in black and white, they get ready to go out. They put on overcoats, jackets, or capes, boots or rubbers, mittens or gloves, some scarves, many hats, a few earmuffs. Then almost everyone picks up a case. The cases are different shapes and shades of black and brown. The man with the dark wavy hair, with the white lightning in it, the ruffly shirt, cummerbund, and bow tie that looks like a white bat, he picks up a very thin leather briefcase. No one else has a case like this. All the 105 men and women say goodbye. Goodbye to mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, or friends, children, dogs, birds, a cat, whoever is staying at home. Then they walk out of 105 doors into 105 streets, and there they take cabs, cars, subways, or buses to the middle of the city. The man with the black and white wavy hair wears a black coat with a velvet collar and a white silk scarf. He steps into a very long car that is waiting for him outside his apartment building. While the driver drives, the man opens his case and looks at some papers. He sings a little and hums. 8:25 on Friday night, in the middle of the city, 104 people walk onto the big stage in Philharmonic Hall. They have left their overcoats, jackets or capes, boots or rubbers, mittens or gloves, some scarves, many hats, a few earmuffs backstage in dark green metal lockers. They have left their cases in different shapes and shades of black and brown back there too. Now, 101 of the men and women are carrying the musical instruments that were in those cases. Three people do not carry instruments. They are the harpist, who plays the harp, and two timpanists, who play the kettle drums and smaller percussion instruments, the cymbals, a gong. These instruments are too heavy to carry around. They are already on stage. There are 102 chairs on the stage and 2 stools. Near each of these, there is a music stand with sheets of music on it. The 104 people take their seats. The double bass players sit on stools. Everyone turns to the first page of music. It is a white page covered with black lines and musical notes. The man with the black wavy hair, lit with white, enters. He walks to the front of the stage and steps one step up onto a box called a podium. There he can be seen clearly by the 104 people on the stage and by the hundreds of people in the audience. The audience applauds. The man bows. He is the conductor, the leader of the orchestra, and he holds a stick in his hand. It is called a baton, which is French for stick. The conductor raises the baton in the air, way up on the ceiling of Philharmonic Hall. 6 chandeliers sparkle silently. The conductor brings down the baton, and the hall, which is as wide and long as a red velvet football field, fills with music. The music floats and rises. It sings and dances from violas, violins, cellos, double basses, flutes, a piccolo, bassoons, clarinets, oboes, French horns, trumpets, trombones, a tuba, a harp, drums, cymbals, chimes, and one thin silver triangle. It's 8:30 on Friday night, and the 105 men and women completely dressed in black and white have gone to work, turning the black notes on white pages into a symphony. They are the members of the Philharmonic Orchestra, and their work is to play beautifully. Thank you so much for reading that book with me. This book is super special to me, not just because I read it when I was a kid, but also because I have played in orchestras. I remember getting dressed up in my fancy clothes and going on stage and tuning up the orchestra. And I remember watching my sisters play in orchestras. And actually, my dad is just like the man with the wavy hair and the black wavy hair and the white stripe, because he's a conductor. So I love this book, and I love how it brings their rich lives into perspective for us, because we can really imagine what it would be like to get ready to go to work and to go to a job where you're sharing your beautiful music with people. So I hope you all enjoyed the story, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.